Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. So I guess this is what happens when, as a community, we continue to wash our dirty laundry in public. We've been speaking about this and this whole idea of how we're being perceived from the outside. It's so important that we don't get articles like this being written about us, and it could simply be prevented by people not always wanting to have the last say, always wanting to be right, like the pointless tweets that I've seen where someone's been clearly caught out and they're like, oh, well, I had something else lined up anyway, so, don't worry about that. And it's like, in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, these people are going to they're going to think about that, and it's probably going to keep them awake at night, how they acted. It's these silly things that we're doing as a community, especially at IL1 dev team. These are people that are supposed to be leading by example, showing, and especially like the lead dev, showing that they are able to compromise, they are able to get everybody and make everything work. This is what we need as a community right now. We do need a leader, as many as people want to sit and say we don't. We are a decentralized community, but we need a leader that's not going to follow, right, their own aspirations or what they think's right or what they think's going to work. They need to listen to the community. Crypto can be very complicated or it can be very simple, depending on how you approach it. But articles like this, it's just, everybody's going to see this. This is on Coin Edition. It's also on cryptonews.net, and it's also on a few other platforms already. So this is getting out there. People are going to see it, and guess what they're not going to do? They're not going to be investing in LUNC when things start to move, right? Because everybody's waiting for this perfect buy-in opportunity, that sweet spot, like catching a falling knife, as we say. We need to make ourselves as appealing as possible, and one of the things that have become highly questionable at the moment is the fight over burn tax and what the burn tax is doing and utility not coming back. I can tell you now, it's not the burn tax that's doing it. The burn tax is not the issue, it's the fees and the burn tax. You can't tax a system. It's the same as us in real life. If your local government was taxing you and then taxing you more, everywhere you go, you're getting taxed. You sell something, you buy something, you're taxed. You know how it feels. It's pretty much like that anyway. It doesn't need to be like this. It really doesn't. We're going to be having a podcast tomorrow around 5 p.m. UK time with LUNC Army, which is the L1 project manager. We're going to be asking the questions that people have not wanted to ask. We're going to be talking exactly how it is for what it is, not beating around the bush, but also having a mature conversation and trying to find a solution that appeases both sides. It's doable. It can be done. So moving back to this burn tax situation, it's such a hot topic, really. I think that's the best way to explain it. I find it's always split down the middle, but the majority of the community want to see coins burn, and I just don't understand why this is consistently ignored. It's not fair to ignore that part of the community and then simply be like, well, we're going to build an AI chain. It's not helping. So there's all sorts of strange things going on aside these kind of articles which are literally quoting people for their tweets, and it's like, fat man's having the time of his life once again. There's so many people, right, that are shorting all the time, holding short positions. They'll set a short position and then they'll go out and set themselves a goal of spreading as much panic, as much misinformation, and just as much grief as they can. It's obvious. There's people that put proposals up and they have 4 other accounts and they sit there and they ask themselves questions, and it's just becoming so obvious. It's like watching a crazy person having a meltdown and they're like talking to all of these different personalities that they've built up, and they're so invested in the lie that they believe themselves. They believe they are these separate characters. So this whole situation of simply targeting the lead dev it's not healthy, and I'm going to stick by my gun on this. If we continue to act like this with the L1 development team and any of our development teams, right, we're going to end up with the like worse people, because the good people are not going to want to come work, put their necks on the line for them to possibly do everything really good for a month and then possibly have a slight hiccup along the way leading up to the next Q2, right? They're simply not going to put their necks on the line for something like that. The risks, it's not worth it. So yes, we need changes from the L1 team, but we also as a community need to change. Okay? There's so many factions and there's so many different people that hate on each other, and I've sort of come back with a more or less a different view as to everything. Everybody's playing a role in the ecosystem. Yes, some people are draining liquidity, but everybody's actually playing a role. Whether they're burning a very small amount, they're bringing publicity to the blockchain, things are being done. And all of these contributions this is what we need. When we're all kind of rowing in this boat, we're all going in the same direction, everything goes so smoothly, the price starts to move up, people start coming flooding in, all of the positive videos start coming out. It doesn't help when you see YouTubers taking these tweets, taking everything and amplifying it just to simply get some views. It's not healthy for this blockchain. And the only people that can change this, okay, is us and them. And that's all there is to it. This is simply a clash of minds right now. Yes, we've had so many bad actors over and over and over again, and some people who have been bad actors have also provided good work, and they're good at what they do, but at the same time, the way they react to things, the way they report things, or the way they pursue things, is not healthy for the blockchain. So just because someone's good at something, you can't ignore that other thing. We've got to think to ourselves now, if we continue to push the way we do as a community on these people, because they're the same way, they're committing a lot to us as well as us committing to them, and we need to respect that. We need to have respect for boundaries. And this is why I was saying, if they've got a project manager, why are they on Twitter? Why are they tweeting things? Why are they creating themselves into targets? I think we're going to find out quite a lot in tomorrow's podcast. I wouldn't say I'm excited for it. I'm just more interested in getting some clear, clean answers, asking the questions, and just trying to find a way to put this all together, to merge everybody, bring everybody under one banner, and really get a hold of this blockchain. Because currently the old guard are just laughing at us. Luna are sat over there laughing at us at this point. All of the validators dropping out. We're watching it happen. It doesn't need to happen. We as a community can fix this. Folks, stay safe, stay humble, stay aware, beware of scammers, beware of doppelgangers, beware of my squeaky chair, and I will catch you in the next one.